Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the webinar today, Business Registration, Getting to Know the BEDC Business Portal. My name is Keitha Caines. I'm the Director of Finance Data Administration here at BEDC. I was wondering though if we wanted to wait another minute for anyone else to come in. Colina, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we should wait, I would say at least another minute or so, just to let people still enter.
Yep.
Considering it just turned 30, sometimes people may forget. So we'll just give everyone a couple minutes to get online, and then we will start the presentation.
Yep, sounds good, guys. So just give us a minute.
Yeah, I know we have over, I want to say over 40 registrations so far. So
All right, guys, we're going to go along and get started. Again, welcome to the webinar. My name is Keitha Caines, again, and I will turn it over to Colina.
good afternoon, everyone. My name is Colina Outerbridge, and I am the Business Data and Policy Analyst. I work with Keitha in the Finance Data and Admin Service Department. So we're just wanting to put this course on, this webinar for you, business registration, getting to know the BEDC business portal. We are hosting this seminar. Oh, actually, we're going to do the agenda. If you want to go to the, so we have the agenda, which was the welcome and the intro. We're going to talk a bit about the business portal. Then we're going to do a business portal intro, a business portal demo, and then at the end, if anyone has any question and answer, they can ask us. We'll use that time. We also have a chat feature, so if you want to use the chat feature, you can put your questions in there, and we will be monitoring it and answering those questions. Okay, so you can go to the next one. So we are hosting this seminar today, not only to introduce our new business portal to you, but also for our current clients that have products with BEDC and all those future clients that may need a product or those that want to be a BEDC member for discounts, as well as other relevant information we have to offer. But remember, you don't have to be a business owner to become a member. In this webinar, we're going to be discussing how to register to be a member on our business portal, how to use the client portal, how to apply for products, how to make payments throughout the portal, as well as the benefits of being a BEDC member by registering. So what is the business portal? The business portal is a business register that BEDC uses to manage and collect data on our clients that have membership or products with us. BEDC has always had a business register, but this new portal allows our clients to have direct access to apply for our products online, which used to be a manual process. They can also see the status of their approved applications, and they can make payments directly through the business portal. So instead of having to go into the bank, do a bank transfer, all that details can be done directly through the portal. Because we have over 1,000 clients with over 800 products, this register allows us to efficiently manage these products as it was currently a manual process as well. And so that goes to speak to having the online access to your business details, being able to do applications for all our products online, and our management of your loans and also products of your vending licenses that we will talk about later on. So why did BEDC create it? BEDC's legislation mandates that BEDC keep a register of businesses, and so by creating this portal, this is being achieved. Once our client registers, the data collected is not only kept in a central location, but is also used for statistical purposes for small to medium-sized businesses, as we sometimes get asked questions. For example, if someone wants to start a particular business, they may want to know what area, in a particular area, they may want to know how many businesses already exist in that area. So not necessarily that they're not going to start it because there is, businesses already there, but sometimes that's just information that people, may access for. Sometimes we are access statistical data, how many females own businesses, or how many different businesses are out there. So these are one of the ways that we could capture this information through this business register. And so the next thing Keitha is going to take us through is the benefits of people signing up and using this portal.
Okay, here we go. Benefits, guys. So as Colina mentioned, the portal itself, it has increased the accessibility for the clients. We've always had a business register, as Colina mentioned, but now we've opened up so that it has an external portal for our clients to be able to access the information regularly. So some of the benefits of this is being able to have access to the BEDC products and support services. We are doing majority of our applications now are coming through our business register portal. We are not taking them via email or drop-offs. We are taking them right through the business register because, again, as Leanne mentioned, we can track the process. Everyone has access to that same database internally, and we can kind of sift through it, manage the process, and then you get correspondence from the register. Once you've submitted something, once something's been approved, it automatically sends out notifications. So that's one of the benefits for us, for you to use the register. We'll also have access to your details, your business details. Once you've put the information into our register, you can access it anytime by logging in, and you'll be able to pull up any information that you need that you would have provided previously. There's another benefit where you would receive the notices for BEDC seminars, for the events, quarterly newsletters, for opportunities, for when there's maybe doing workshops, industry related, you might be able to get an invitation to that, or business to business networking for different events. There's opportunity for limited, sharing if you're having an event or you're having a product that you want to share with other businesses that we can send out to our membership database. So there's limited, available to do that. There's also use of our training room and offices here, meeting rooms and training rooms at a discounted rate when you become a member of BEDC. And then you also got a unique business ID number that can be useful if you're wanting to confirm your membership with other entities. So for instance, if you're applying at another financial institution or another organization and they just want to confirm that you're a registered small business of BEDC, you can use that unique business ID for them to confirm with us. And again, that's going to be more important when it becomes mandated that the businesses have to register with us.
And just something to add, Keitha, I know that we've in the past had calls from people that have started a business and they are they're doing retail and they're bringing in products. Sometimes the shipping companies will ask for a business ID number. And so I know that we've used that business license number to be able to give to our clients for them to use to be able to ship products to Bermuda and use their shipping company. So that's another added feature of why that unique business license number is going to be important as well.
I would agree. Because again, that unique identifier is easy for us to then look up into our system and confirm that you're registered. Just continuing on, there are some of the products that are available through the business portal. Our Microline products, which is that consolidation. There's a COVID Microline that we currently are offering, and there's a regular Microline. The qualifications for those are different, but we have those two Microline products and also the DAC consolidation. Some other products that are not financially related will be the payroll tax relief for the economic empowerment zones and for just regular startups. And what that is, if you don't know, it's where when you're a new startup, you can apply to us to get a payroll tax relief for a year for the regular startup businesses. And I believe it's maybe 18 months or up to 2 years for the economic empowerment zone areas. So these are just some other benefits that we do offer, products we offer. You have to apply to the portal to get that. And also vending licensing. We have hundreds of vending license certificates that have been issued, or people want to sell stuff either from their houses, from on the side, to do vendor markets throughout the country. So that's where you would apply for us and get a license, and they expire every year. So you just renew every year, and it's for a minimum fee. So that application is also being done through our business portal as well.
And also, one of the questions that was asked was about, is there a cost? So for now, the business portal is absolutely free, but we do anticipate that once it becomes mandated, there will be a cost, and it will be an annual renewal fee for each year that you're renewing your business license. So I would say, to everyone right now, if you're starting a business, you're thinking of starting a business, or you just want to become a member, sign up now while it's free. And so at least you get to get in before that cost is levied. We're hoping that it does come sometime this year, and that's only because we want BEDC to be kind of a one-stop hub for all our small to medium-sized businesses, and this is one of the things that's just going to help us to be more efficient in that process. And so the next thing we're going to do is go through the actual business portal. So we're going to go through the process of registering to become a member, and then we're going to show you the client side of it. So when they log in, what they're able to access. And this is going to be very important because, when we first, like Keitha said, when we first started this process, it's definitely evolved to where it is today. And we find that a lot of people, when they try to register, they're not familiar with all the aspects of becoming a member and using the actual website. And so that's the main reason, is to show you guys, if you're registering, these are the steps, this is what you need to do. And just so that it's a more easy and streamlined process for all our clients that are looking to become a member. And for those that have products with us but might not have registered yet, this is still something that we want to make sure that they are, registering, that they're looking at this seminar so that they can still register and get their product linked to their new membership. So I'm just going to, do I have rights to share my screen?
Yeah, I just made you presenter. You should see it now.
Okay, so.
Hold on.
Okay, so show my screen. And are you able to see it? I'm just going to move this to the side.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so first of all, we want you, and you can see my screen, you said, because I can't see it.
Yeah, we can see it. But I don't see your, Explorer. I just see your desktop.
Okay. So
is your Google Chrome?
And then webcams. So let me bring this on this screen. I don't know if it has anything to do with
It
me
should be
having.
under sharing, I think.
Okay, so stop sharing screen. Show screen. Do you see it now?
No, you're using Google Chrome.
Yes.
You might have to pull it over.
One to the other side.
There we go. Yeah, I see it now.
Okay, so let me pull this.
Just make it bigger.
Okay. Okay, so you see it now?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So what you will need to do is go on to www.bedc.bm. Once you click that website link, you would go to membership. You have become a member, or you can go to membership and create an account or log in. So once we create the account, then we'll go back and show you how to actually log in. So membership, create an account. And I will say that even though this is you are able to use this on your cell phone or your iPad, I would suggest that it's easier to do on a computer if you're able to. If you can't, then you can use your other devices, but it's best to use on a computer or a laptop. And the reason is there's a lot of information that's asked, and when you're trying to do it on a smaller device, some of the information may get missed. And so I would just suggest using it on a laptop where possible. I'm going to put in my name. So first name and last name. Submission date is going to be the date that you're actually entering it. So today is the 5th of May, 2022. I'm going to put in my birthday, and it picks out a date for me. I'm going to just put in a different birthday, and only because if you are entered into the system and you already have a registration, one thing I'll just let you know that you can be a member of BEDC, which is one membership with BEDC, but you can have many businesses. So once you go through this process and you submit, you get a business register ID, which is a BEDC number, but you also get a business license number if you're registering a business. And if you create a second business, you would still go through this process, but it will be a pop-up to say, you're already in the register, please confirm your information. And once you confirm that information, it would allow you to add another business to that information. So actually, maybe I should do that to see. I'll do that, the process, just so that you know. So I'm going to put in my year. So you would scroll down to put your year in. I know sometimes people may try to type it in. And so just want to make sure that you don't get an error. I'm going to put in my address. So your address is in there, your parish, all that information is in there. If you're in there already, it will populate. If not, you would enter it for the first time. And then you would enter your email address. And then say, do you have a business? Yes. If you say no, it just goes to the next field. So if you say yes, you continue on. It will actually, if you're starting a new business, purchasing existing, or registering. So I'll just show you the different fields. So if you're registering an existing business, it would ask you for your business start date, how many employees you have, your payroll tax ID number if you have one. Hopefully you do if you are registering an existing business. If you have a payroll tax certificate, it will ask you to upload that. Now, I will say, if you do note, there are asterisk signs. Anything that has an asterisk has to be, it's a mandatory field. You have to put information in there. If it doesn't, we still like that information. So if you have a payroll tax certificate, it'll be good to have that. But some people, for those who don't, we don't want them to, the application to not be uploaded because of that. Your business social insurance number and the certificate, if you have that, the full and legal name of your business trade name, if you use a different name, the business telephone number, website, email address, and confirm your email address. Now, if you don't have a website, you don't have to put that. If you're just starting a business and you don't have a separate email address or telephone number for the business, then you can just use your personal or whatever you're currently using for your business. And so those are all the fields that it will show you. And actually, do you have your business have a physical location? If you say yes, it asks you for the address of that location. For those of you that do work with government, so sometimes people may have construction business or something like that, it will ask you if you have a government contract and what department that's with and the year it was received. And then it also asks you, is your business in an economic empowerment zone? And we have 3 zones. One is in Somerset, one is in Northeast Hamilton, and one is in St. George's. So this is going to be very important, as Keitha stated earlier. If you have a business in one of these areas, and I know that eventually we will have maps on the register, so you can be able to tell where your business is located. You can call a BEDC officer and find out if you fall in that area, if you're in Somerset, Northeast Hamilton, and St. George's. But as Keitha mentioned earlier, if your business is located in an EE area, EE zone, then if you're applying for a payroll tax relief, you will get 9 consecutive quarters versus a business that is started in a different area will only get 4. As well as if you're applying for our microloan products, so as Keitha said, we have the general, we have the debt consolidated, as well as the COVID grant microloan. If you're in an EEZ area, your interest rate is going to be a little less than what someone in a different area is. And the reason is those areas are dense in businesses, and we're trying to, revive those areas, build those areas up. And so we're trying to assist those areas as much as possible, and with reliefs and things like that. So if you're in one of those areas, make sure you're picking one of those choices. So that's if you're registering an existing business. If you're purchasing an existing business, then it asks you start date, how many employees, your former owner's name, last name, your former owner's phone, email, same information as your tax ID and certificate, your social insurance and certificate, and then all the other information will still be the same. Do you have a website, your telephone number, email address for the business? And then if you're starting a new business, it will ask you less information, because we do realize that people that are looking to start a new business may not have been to payroll tax and social insurance and things like that yet. So it will ask you your business trade name, your telephone number, your website, your address, and your confirm your email address. And so you would see it's a lot less information requested. It also will ask you the type of business. So I'm going to say I'm starting a new business. And then recently, we've also put vending license business. And so if you're applying for a vending license, then obviously, because we know it's seasonal and things like that, it asks for even less information. But I'm going to do starting a new business. My business is going to be hair, trade. No, I'm going to do clothing. I'm going to do clothing line. I'll put in my same telephone number. It didn't like that. So we do have a format of how the telephone would look. The email address, I'm going to put that in there. Do you have a physical location? I'm going to say no. Operate online. And then this is another important field for us. What type of business are you registering? This is matched with the statistics. They have a list of all the different business industries. And so we have implemented that statistic code. And so that's going to help us if we wanted to know how many businesses are different areas, we can run those reports. Now, because real estate is a very important one, I'm going to go through that, because a lot of people can't find if I'm selling this, where do I go? So for if I'm selling retail trade, I would say it has it for motor vehicles, wholesale and retail trade, repairs and motor vehicles and motorcycles. So sometimes people see that and they don't realize that it's just retail sales. So if you pick wholesale retail trade, it will ask you more information. So one would be wholesale and retail trade, repairing motorcycles, accept motorcycles, and retail trade, accept motor vehicles. And so because I'm selling stuff, retail trade, accept motor vehicles, my next category is going to say retail sale in non-specialized stores, sale of food and beverages, sale of automotive fuel, sale of information and communication, household equipment, culture and recreational goods, sale of goods, other goods in specialized stores, sale via stores and markets, and retail sales not in stores, so sales and markets. So I think I said online. So retail trade not in stores, stores, or markets. So that's what I'm going to choose. And then my last one would say retail sale via mail order, house, or via the internet. Other retail sales not in stores, stores, or markets. So I'll just do from my house or from the internet. And so that's going to be very important to make sure you just drill down to all these fields, and they all have to be answered. What is the structure of the business? And so we have sole proprietor, but for other fields, there are drop downs. So for instance, if I'm a partnership, it will ask me for my certificate. So from a limited company or LLC, it will ask me for my certificate from Register of Companies if I'm registered, and it will ask me what's the name of my owner. So if it's me and there's only two partners, owner one and owner two, and that's the same information: your name, your email address, telephone number, date of birth, and social insurance. And if there's only two of you, then you don't have to worry about filling out three. And just to click on a few, it's going to be that same information depending on what you clicked on. So I'm going to do sole proprietor. It's just myself. Annual revenue, so that we have different bands. Band 1, which is going to be a small business. I make under 100,000, so 1 to 100,000 a year. Band 2 is going to be 101,000 to 250. Band 3, 250 to 500. Band 4, 500 to $1 million. And medium-sized business is going to be band 5, $1 million to $5 million. And that's going to be important because if you're applying for a product, depending on what band you fall in, depends on how much money how much funding we are able to assist with. So for instance, when we were doing our grant microloans, which was 50% loan and 50% grant, if I only made 100,000, my grant might have only been 10,000. So 5,000 grant, 5,000 microloan. If I was in band number 3, which was 250 to 500, I might have been able to apply for 30,000, which is 15 grant and 15 loan. So it just depends on how much you're able to, how much your business is making will depend on that. Now, for instance, if you're just going back up, if you registered and you just want to be a member, you would say no to I don't own a business, and then it will take you right down to this additional information, and that's just being a register. But these additional steps are for anyone that has a business, and we're just capturing that information. So annual revenue, my business is a calendar year. I would like to receive additional information, so you can choose any one of these. So I'm going to say a microloan. How did you hear about BEDC? And I'm going to say word of mouth, and you can click all that applies, and you should be able to submit. Now this is saying something is incorrect. So I'm just making sure that all my information is entered in correctly so that it actually submits. I'm going to change my email address just in case if it recognizes that I am already in the system. Okay, maybe take out the pound sign. So Colina, Outerbridge, date of submission, date of birth, address. Okay, take out the plus. So just making sure that all the information is in line with what we currently have. Starting a new business. Okay, it looks like everything is entered in here. And okay, so now, Keitha, do you see anything different from what I should be putting in? I'm going to change this date. You're on mute. We are working with the developers to make sure that if there is anyone trying to enter in information and they are not able to submit, that there is a
Try telephone numbers.
Try my telephone number?
Are they supposed to have dashes or no?
No, it wouldn't allow you to put a dash in.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we are working with our developers to make sure that if persons are not able to submit, because there have been people that did have issues with submitting, that there is an error that tells you exactly what, why it's not submitting versus it just not showing.
Yeah, or at least highlight the field, but
yeah, I can't see anything.
But that's fine because you have that account set up already, right?
Yeah, I have the account set up already, but hopefully when you guys go in to register, it does show a submit button down the bottom. This should be highlighted so that you can actually submit. And once you submit it, it will give you get an email that says, or there will be a pop-up that says successfully submitted. And then once you've done that, you will get an email to say create a username and password. And so you would click on that link, and I'm just going to show you what that, I'm just going to bring it over. So this is,
Yep.
Can you can
yep,
see it?
I see it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is what the portal will look like without my information already there. And so it will say, welcome to BEDC membership. And then you put in your email address, and then the password that you've created, you would put that in and then sign in. Now, if at any time you do forget your password, there is a password forget button. And so I would suggest that anybody, whether you're registering or logging into the portal or doing the password forgot, check your junk mail as well, just to make sure that you haven't missed the email, because it may not recognize where it's coming from, and so it may be there as well. So that's what it will look like. You will put that information in, and then I'm just going to bring over. This is what the client portal looks like. And so you have your name up the top, hello Colina, my account, and log out. And then you have your navigation toolbar on the side. And so my account will show you all your information that you've put in, will all be captured here. You also can edit your information. So it has your personal info, my name, my business name, my social insurance number, If I was a vendor, it would have my vendor ID number, telephone, email address, date of birth, your economic activity. So the one that I chose was the retail trade, and we'll have that here. I'm here to get more information, so it tells you all that information, your residential address, my BDC number, and my BDC license number. So that's my personal info. And then my account, just if I had these products, so it would show me my microloan. If I had financial statements for my product that I applied for, it will have that information, and you can put that there. Also, for business information, it does have an action button, and I believe that would be for your editing. And so sometimes businesses, some of the things we like to capture is when a business opened, when it started. Another thing is if your business closed, there will be a button to say close. If you change your address or your number or anything like that, you would be able to edit that type of information. So we also have apply for a product. And so that is what we were talking about earlier, all the products that BEDC has. So for one, your microloan form. On this form, we have both the microloan. We also have the COVID microloan that we were doing, and that's the one that I said was the 50-50 grant and loan portion. You would say whether you're individual or joint application, and if you're a joint application, it would ask for the same information that it asks for yourself, as well as that second person. You can say whether it's a new loan, or if you're increasing your loan or renewing. We do have times where we've had a client that might have come to us for $30,000, and they've paid off 20,000 of that, and so now they're down to 10,000, and they might have asked, they may need some more funding, and so they may ask for another 10,000 to take them back up to 20. Because they're still in the limit of what our lending is, they can just do a renew or an increase of a loan instead of having to do a whole new loan all over again. And then your amount requested. So I'm going to do one now. So I'm going to request 10,000. My submission date, website development. So my name, first name and last name would already be populated. My address is already there. Mailing address, if different. Years at residence, so I'm going to put 10. Years at previous 3. This may not work because it should have. So in the business name, and I probably deleted this, I can't remember, but in the business name, it will drop down to what your business, your name of your business is. And if you have multiple businesses, then that information will also be there. So if you have 3 businesses and you wanted to apply for a microloan for all of them, you would see all of those, and you can choose which one you're actually applying for it for at the time. I own, telephone number, and that's going to be the same. Oh, I didn't need to put that, but okay. Email address. Date of birth, and then it's going to ask for my driver's license. And it asks for your driver's license or your passport. So you do have an option. Your marital status, number of dependents, ages, name of present employer, occupation, start date. So just going to scroll up to 2020, January 1st. Oh. BEDC. And so just putting in all that information. And if you are a business owner and you've always worked for yourself, for your previous name of previous owner, because it is a required field, I would just put in your details if you're a business owner. Name of a separate contact not residing with you. I'm gonna put that 441 in there just because I know it's been used in the past, and to make sure that the information is correct, entered correctly. Purpose of request. And so this is one of the things, because I've applied for Microline, it will ask about the different bands. And so maximum funding allocated, and this is for the grant portion. And so you would pick again what band you fall in. There are different bands depending on what, if you're applied for a microloan for the first time, like I said, you would have up to 30,000. But if you're applying for a COVID grant microloan for the second time, the scale is a little bit less than the first time, because obviously we're not going to give you the full 30 again, but we will tier it, and you will get a band as well for a lesser amount. So I'm going to say, I think I asked for 10.
Yep.
So I'll do small. Do you have any outstanding debts with Bermuda Credit Association? No. Do you have any judgments or defendant legal actions? No. Do you have any obligations as an endorser or co-maker or guarantor? No. Have you ever been convicted of any offense, fraud, dishonesty, or violence? No, I will say, because obviously sometimes people reading these questions may be a little deterrent. Even if you say yes to these questions, it's not to say that you're not going to get a product with us. But obviously, because we are giving government funding, we have to make sure that we are doing our due diligence and making sure that we ask these questions. So if you have been convicted of an offense, say violence, and you said yes, and you're coming to us because you're starting a business, we're not going to say no because you've been convicted of something, but we have to make sure that we have that background information. And so you may still get the product from us, but at least we know beforehand, what the situation is. Now, for some people that may be busy, they're filling out this application and they're not able to complete it, you can do a save as draft. Let's see if I can save it. I don't know if it'll allow me to save it because it didn't pick a business name, but I did save as draft anyway, just so that when we come back to the other part, I can see if it's saved somewhere. So that's the application, basically. Now you come down to the attachments. This part is going to be very important because we find a lot of our clients that do try to get a product with us, if their attachments are over 50 megabytes, MBs, it will not submit. And so we're trying to make sure that you can either condense, consolidate, make it smaller, some way, somehow, the file sizes, so that you are able to submit it. The questions that it's asking for, so let me just go. Attach file. Note, to upload multiple documents, press Control plus grab the multiple documents in the folder that you are choosing from. For successful submission, please make sure the attachments should be under 40 megabytes. And then COVID funding program checklist fillable PDF. And so all of these attachments either should have a PDF that you can fill out, or it will tell you to add a file. So first it's asking you for your monthly personal financial statement. Personal financial details of each owner of the business. And so it has your PFS, so your personal financial statement is a fillable template. So once you click on this template, it does bring up an Excel spreadsheet. And you fill in those details. We also have this information, I believe it's still on our website in our small business toolbox, that you can fill out, save it to your desktop, and then reattach it. So I'm just going to bring it over to this screen. Keitha, can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so that has your personal income statement, and it's basically just asking you all your income and from other sources, all your expenses. Fill that information. You can put it right in there, and then it calculates. So I'm just enabling the editing. It has all the forms. So I'm going to say 1,000. I don't got anything else. 500 rent. 100 car. 50 life insurance. And so that calculates for us. Oh, didn't allow that. That calculates for us how much expenses you have. Oops, sorry. So my income, my fixed expense, and my, what was the other screen? So that's my personal income statement.
Yeah, it calculates debt service ratio at the bottom. I don't see it.
It, but I don't. Oh, okay. Scroll on for the second part of that. So that's asking me. So say $20 telephone, $20 healthcare, $10 sports. So you obviously will fill this out with as much honesty as possible, because that information is going to be important for us to be able to determine if we're able to if you're able to fund this yourself in case if something happens to the business. And so I'm going to save this to my desktop. Okay, and then I'm going to come out of that, and then I'm going to go to the balance sheet.
It's 118 to just a time check. Okay,
I'll go quickly through the rest, and then hopefully we'll have at least 10 or so minutes for any questions and answers. And so for the balance sheet, same information is asking you for your current assets, your fixed assets, your liabilities. And for the essence of time, I'm not going to fill it out or save it. I'll just use my other attachment for all of these. But like I said, we would ask that you fill out the required information when you're doing this for yourself. So for your bank statements, it's asking for financial information, your cash flow statements, balance sheet. If you are a new business, obviously you wouldn't have any bank statements, but you should have cash flow projections, financial information statement, use of funds. So that's going to be important for us to know what you're using to spend the money on. Business plan or a business profile. So if you don't have a business plan, we do have a business portal, business profile that's fillable that you can fill out. And I'm not going to fill it out, but I'll just show you what it looks like. It just basically asks you the history and nature of your business. So what type of business is it? Where it's located? Who owns it? Who's the staff? Who's running it? The purpose of the funding, so the same thing of why you're requesting this fund. Customer market, competition, so like a SWOT analysis, who is your competitors? And then also your projected revenue and expenses, so your cash flow projections. And then the location, so if you do have a location for the business, you can upload your rental agreement. Business reference, business and personal reference, so you can add that. We have those on the file. If someone writes a letter and says I'm providing a personal reference or business reference for this person. Your ID, so a copy of your identification, you would upload as well. And then any other documents that you feel are relevant to the question. Or if you do submit it and the officer says we need this additional information, you can go back into this application. Don't create a new one. You can go back into the same application and add any additional files. There is an application and processing fee. So depending on the amount that you're asking for, it will calculate what that fee is. And so if it's approved, then you will get an email to say, to pay this fund. and then you can submit. The yellow is for internal use, so you don't have to worry about that. So I didn't actually choose. So very quickly, I'm just going to go and upload that same file. Now, I don't want you guys to do this. This is just for me in the essence of time. But we want to make sure that you are putting the proper details, because once this application is submitted, there is a someone at BEDC that's going to verify the data in all this information. So they would go through this whole application, verify that all the information is correct, and if it's not correct, then they will contact you to say, we need this additional information. And you will also note, because sometimes people think that once they submit it, the application process starts. We do have a suggested time span on how long it will take once it's submitted. But if your application is not correct or completed at the time of submitting, the clock does not start until we have all your information. So it's going to be important to make sure that you're uploading all the detail. This is saying, please fill out all requirements, all required fields before submitting. Oh, okay, it's not going to allow me to submit because it doesn't have my business name, and it's not going to allow me to put one in because it's probably recognizing my account as a different account. But all that information should be there before submitting. So I am going to look at, I want to see record of submission. Okay, so just going through the last couple fields, like I said, you have your Microline form, your loan guarantee form. So all the forms kind of look the same, ask for the same information. You have your vending license form. If you're asking for a vending license, and you just go through, you make sure everything that has an asterisk, you're filling in. Anything that has an attachment, you're putting the attachment and just following the instructions. And then the payroll tax relief. So those are all the products that we have. Then you would go to record of submission. So if you applied for a microloan, it would show that microloan. So your ID number, the loan for your business, how much you requested, and then it also would say that it's pending or it's approved. It does let you know the status of it. Now, once it's approved, it would show a processing fee. So you'll see over here on the far right, it has a processing fee. If you click on there, it should say pay now. If you click on there, it will allow you to pay your admin fee right through the portal. And so that's your record of submission. So whatever product you're applying for, it will have all that detail that you put in, what the status of it is, and allow you to pay. So for vending license, if you got a yearly vending license, it's $50, it would have that paid. And then if you're approved for a product and you're doing a loan payment, you would click your microloan, your product will come here, and you see how it has loan repayment. It would have a pay now, and so that would fill in what amount you're supposed to pay. I believe you can also put in, so say if you're supposed to pay $250 a month, you can put in $300 if you wanted to pay $300. If you wanted to make a balloon payment, you can do that. However your business agreement is structured, you can put that information, and you can pay it however that is tailored towards you. You also have transaction history. And so that's going to show you all your transactions that you've done. It will show it to you. So sometimes people will call us and say, what's my balance? They no longer have to call us because you can go right in and look at what your history is, what payments you've made. Or they may say, oh, a payment was missed, because we right now do it manually. If a payment's missed, they would be able to look at your transaction history and say, oh, these are all my payments that I've made. This is what my loan balance is. If I need to change anything, I can change that information, or I can add any additional information. And so that's basically all the information that we have for the client portal. We also have the loan calculator. So if you wanted to figure out how much you would have to repay, you can put that information in. And I think that should be it. Is it anything that I've missed, Keitha, before we go to our question and answer? There aren't any question and answer in the chat. So we can go right to the persons on the screen to see if anybody has any questions.
I think they have to put it to the chat if they have any questions.
Oh, okay. So if anyone has any questions, if not, we'll use the last couple minutes to just do some more deep dive into the client portal. But if anybody has any questions, they can type it in the chat now. If anyone's thinking about starting a business or want to know more about that process, they can put it in the chat. Any information or things that you're thinking about while we're going through it, put it in the chat and then we can answer it now. But I will just go through a little bit more of the portal and just keep my eye on the chat in case if any questions need to be answered. Or if you want to see something else on the client portal or something I didn't go through, you can put that in there as well and I can make sure I highlight it. I just wanted to go to hello Colina. That doesn't do anything. Okay, and so the my account up the top does the same as the my account down the bottom.
So in your personal information, is that where you update your business name?
So your personal information, there would be an edit button.
The business name is there.
And you see in the learn calculator it pops up. So I'm not sure why when I apply for a product, let me see. Do you have to put your business name for vending license?
Yeah, they usually do it farther down the bottom there.
Okay. Okay. And for the vending license, it will tell you if you're making baked goods and things like that, you don't need a vending license. So just read all the instructions that's on there. If you're selling other products other than that, it will say, I'm doing new, the date, business register. Sometimes for vending licenses, because it's seasonal, people may not have a tax ID. If you do, definitely put it in. If you don't, we're just telling people to put in 5 zeros. But I would say if you have a tax ID, definitely put that in because we're trying to capture as much details as we can, as possible. Some of this information, just double check it to make sure it's correct. With the vending license, I see parish comes up already filled, and that was not correct. So I just wanted to make sure. Mailing address is different from above. Check the mandatory fields because these are all together with the address, and you want to make sure that you're not missing anything. Keitha, you might want to make a note that we that information should be populated.
ID?
Yeah, the ID and all that should be populated. And I think I have October 11th. Yes, I'm Bermudian. Quantify, contact number, business email address. So like I said, when you're putting in this information, just make sure that you are verifying that whatever is auto-filled is correct. I'm going to do an annual license. I've never had one before, never been convicted of a fraud. Excuse me, sorry, because this is asking for an attachment, proof of residency, character references, and it does ask for 3. It does ask for a headshot because on your vending license, your picture is included in the license. Submit, successfully submitted. And so that's basically what will also show on your, when you submit a microloan application or the other products, it will say successfully submitted. And so now I should be able to go to Let's see. Record of submission. Oh, see, I just got a notification. A new vending license application has been submitted. And so what happens there? What happens there is a BEDC member, like I said, will log in. They will be able to see that submission. They will verify that that information is correct. And once they verify that that information is correct, try it, Keitha, if you can log into the thing and just approve, just verify. And I just want to see if I'm actually able to see that. Guys, I know it's 1:30. I'm gonna wrap up in a few minutes. I just want to be able to see, want you to see that process of something actually submitted. So a message does pop up. We get notification internally to say that application or vending license or new startup payroll tax has been submitted. We have to verify that information, and then once it's verified, then I'm assuming that you guys should see that record showing here to say that I submitted something. So also let me refresh my screen just to make sure.
Yeah, because it should. Pardon, let me refresh it, but I approved it.
You approved it? Well,
It's
not
ready.
approved it, verified it.
It's a start for vending license is not a verified document, but
Okay.
it would have to be you should get an email though to say that. So if you haven't received an email yet, then it hasn't processed it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna real quick look at my emails. Now I have to figure out which email. So,
yeah, you on your shared screen.
Yeah, I'll put it up inside. I'm just gonna check my email to see if I see something saying it's been approved. Inbox. BEDC vending license approval. Okay, and I have a vending license number. So I'll just bring this back over. So you see, same as all our products, you will get an email to say your application, Microline application has been successfully approved or successfully received, or any of that details you would have it. So this now has my vending license number, and it also has please log into the business register to pay for your fee. Now I'm almost scared to use, sorry. I will admit I can't remember my login. Where did it go? Okay, so let's see if I refresh. I don't want to log out because then says I can't log back in. All right, I'm going to.
It saved it, right? So if you log, I think it pulled it up last time.
I don't know, for some reason it's not showing. It's not showing the vending license.
You have to log out and log back in.
I know, but I can't remember my password.
But it's 1:34 anyway. But just kind of had a good overview for everybody to kind of understand that process and how it works. And again, we'll always here for questions. If people have any questions to ask us, you can email info@bedc.bm and ask any questions that you guys might have or issues you might have about the register per se. So I don't see any questions in the chat. So it looks like everyone is okay so far.
And like Keitha said, we want to thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for sticking it out. Like I said, this new product for us is very important because, like we said, we want to streamline everything. We don't want to be having to do these manual processes. We want people to be able to sign up to be a member because we want all the small businesses. There's not really anywhere that captures the data on all small businesses. And so we want to make sure that we are capturing all small businesses, on our register. We want to make sure that people that are signing up, like I said, for membership benefits for BEDC, whenever we have courses, I know with COVID, most of our courses have been free, but now that but in the past they were paid. So if you were a member, they were at a discounted price. But we just want to make sure everyone signs up, whether you have a business or not. You're getting valuable information from us, upcoming events, but also if you do need to apply for funding, vending license, new startup payroll tax, any of our products, you can do that right through our register. You don't have to worry about filling in a paperwork and uploading, doing different things like that. Streamline the process, use it, and then you can pay online. So if you have a product every month, you just click pay through there instead of having to go to the bank. So thank you guys again for joining us. I hope you have enjoyed it, got some information out of it. We will have this information if you need to refer back to it later on. And just ask that you have a good day.
Have a good day, everyone. Thank you.